Well, I didn't light the other candles. Let me do that right now. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm sort of rushing here a little bit this morning, even though it's just past midnight. I don't know if you can see the clock. Oh, I forgot to turn the other light on too. That's why you can't see the clock. Uh, you have a big light that stands right behind my desk over here. And on the other side, and I usually have that on, and I don't have it turned on right now. I've sort of been rushing, actually. I laid down a little bit early last night, around 8:30, and of course, my friend who always manages to call me shortly after I lay down to go to sleep, called, and I didn't answer the phone again. I've told him send me email messages because he likes to call me a lot, and I keep telling him please stop, but he doesn't listen, and he called me again, 5 to 10 minutes after I lay down. I lay down around 8:30 and thinking I would try to get a little bit better night's sleep, but I woke up about 3 hours later, as usual, and here I am a little after midnight after having laid there. And the title for today, this video, is Saying No to Control by Corporations. Are people ready to stand up to those who commit crimes against humanity, those who extort wealth from people, and those who harm the planet? Are we willing to let those in government agencies know that what they are doing to the earth and its people is unacceptable? We can do this if we have a will to stop injustices done in our name. The ambassador keeps saying that it's up to us. We cannot do everything, but we can do this. Yes, I am calling for the most massive outcry possible, standing up for human rights and the rights of the planet. I feel that if we do our part, things we can do, the universe will begin fulfilling the new covenant, writing natural law on the fleshy tables of our hearts, and the family that wants to support humanity will release the funds to make it happen, to actually repurpose the system to do the right thing. Perhaps they have just been waiting for us to take action and to stop turning our heads and hearts away from the cries for true justice with mercy. One little typographical error there. Anyway, did you know, if you didn't, I'm telling you, that the world is run by corporations? Even our governments, excuse me, are corporations. Our churches are corporations. The banks are corporations. The schools are corporations. The media is corporations. The business of growing food and providing medical care and research, everything is done in our world by corporations. Do you know why the world is the way it is? Because corporations do not have accountability. When the forefathers that set up the United States initially, with a vision that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. You know the rest of it. Look it up if you don't. It's the Declaration of Independence, written by Thomas Jefferson. They laid a foundation in that and other documents that followed to take control of a world that goes out of control. Many of the forefathers wrote things that, we've given you a republic, ma'am, if you can keep it. They told us, they warned us to be vigilant, to not let the natural tendencies of people with power run unchecked, but that we were responsible, we the people were responsible for becoming informed, even if they tried to keep information from us as they're doing today. They're not able to do that because of the internet. We know what's going on because of the internet. And so we have a responsibility to inform ourselves, or to become enlightened, to become knowledgeable of how the world is working. But corporations, as long as corporations are in control, their charters allow them to operate without accountability to God, to the people, or to anyone except the people that are the most sick and greedy that run the corporations. And they decide among themselves in closed groups like the Bilderbergers, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Council of 300, and other committees of those that consider themselves to be the elite of our world. And they decide what they want to do, and fuck the earth, fuck the people, it doesn't matter, screw the whole world, it doesn't matter, as long as they can continue to profit and continue to show positive numbers on their balance sheets as long as they can keep doing what they're doing without any interference from anyone, they will keep doing it. So when the ambassador says it's up to us, I get mad because I say, well, we can't do anything, and I keep wallowing in my own, in our own idea that we're helpless. Well, we're not. But we need to let our voices be heard. We can do that. Now, I was encouraged by the initial responses before I went to bed last night. I haven't checked any since I actually got up to see what else has come through. But the initial responses about Arnold Abbott and the Fort Lauderdale mayor, Jack Sealer, I was encouraged that people are starting to email and a letter writing campaign, and even calling their offices, and that someone posted the contact information. So that this is just one example of something we can do. But if we each in our local communities begin to raise our voices and start inundating people, taking action, inundating the people that are supposed to be our representatives, and standing up to corporations even like Monsanto and others like that are doing dastardly deeds against common sense, for God's sake, against reason. I mean, these are psychopaths. These are sociopaths. We need to raise our voices. So as I said, I was encouraged by the initial response of people that are willing, and there's going to be, I guess, a city council meeting that's scheduled for later in this month. I think it's the 18th of November, a city council meeting in Fort Lauderdale. And I think that it's time that enough people show up there to say what you're doing with Arnold Abbott is not right, and what you're doing to the homeless is not right. We need to take a stand, folks. We need to do our part. We need to stop making excuses. Stop the spirituality of denial. Stop the non-involvement in the politics of our world. Stop the insanity that allows crimes to be committed by people that are supposed to be protecting us. We are in a world where the very people that are supposed to be protecting us, because they have been hired to protect the criminals that run corporations, and they are criminals. Unaccountability is a criminal, what would you call it? It's a criminal action to protect their activity from the people and and they don't want accountability. They don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to be held liable for damages that they do and harm that they do. And so they get away with it. But it's up to us. Did you know that we have the right to overturn laws that are unjust. And any law that does harm or allows others to do harm is an invalid law. It's null and void on its face. But we need to stand up and claim our right to challenge, our right to be heard, our right to speak out, our right to assemble together, our right to call for action. We have natural rights. Are we going to stop the tyranny dead in its tracks? Are we going to stop the ignorance caused by the media and our educational institutions teaching lies and telling untruths and spreading propaganda of the corporate machine, the impersonal corporate machine that runs the planet, that has been running the planet into the ground and enslaving the people more and more harshly? And it's been going on for generations. This is the generation of awakening. This is the generation of getting our act together. This is the generation where the call goes out for all of the people to open their minds, to open their hearts, to open ourselves to receiving the love of the universe and to asking the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, to write those laws in our hearts, or to actually, I believe they've already been written, but they need to be unveiled. We need to take the veils off of our eyes and off of our heart so that we can see who we are, so that we can recognize that we're interconnected, that all life is one life. It's one soul. It's one being, and we are each part of that one soul, one being, one life. And that life is love. And if it wars against itself, as it has been doing in the human population, there's something wrong, and we have the ability to recognize and to stop it. Are you willing to do your part? Are you willing to take action and not just continue to make excuses? Are you willing to do what you can do right now, today, what you can do to start moving the world in a direction that you want it to go? Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world. Do you want to continue to see people making excuses? Do you want to live in a culture where people allow the worst of their brothers and sisters to rise to power, who only want to dominate and control and subjugate others, putting everybody else under their thumb? Is that what you want? We have the responsibility to respond to the criminality of corporations and of governments and of institutions that are not giving us what we need to survive and to thrive as a human family. We have the responsibility to do what we can do and not make excuses and say, well, I can't do this and I can't do this. Well, what can you do? I can make phone calls. I can send emails out. I can work with those that are willing to work with me on the local level. It's hard to stand up for something when you're by yourself or it's just small numbers. Are we willing to provide the numbers that make a loud voice? Are we willing to do what we can do to let the people in power know that what they're doing is unacceptable, that we don't want it in our name anymore? Are we willing to say no? In the workshops that I've been doing for over 20 years, that maybe I'm not going to ever do another one, but in the workshops, one of the things that we learn and that we practice is saying no. It hurts. Don't hurt me. Okay? And we get angry when somebody abuses us and tries to force us to do something against our will. We scream no in the workshops. We need to take that into life itself. We need to say no more, not in my name, Stop it. Stop it. And we need to mean it. We need to mean it with all of our hearts. We can change the world, but only when we're willing to take action. We're not going to change the world by praying for a better world, or by hoping, or by dreaming. We can only change the world by taking our vision for a new world and putting it into action, where the rubber meets the road, where there are feet on the ground, where there are voices being heard. You will hear me. You will listen. Listen to me. Listen to me. We need to say, listen to us. We are the ones we have been waiting for. It's time to take action. Thank you for listening. Namaste.